From Camps Bay to Waterfall, from Sandton to East London, we've seen some of the most extraordinary homes this country has to offer. From marble cladding, bespoke builds, interior design, grandeur, golden accents, we've even seen the gleaming elegance of a Bentley and the raw power of Ferrari. Yet amongst all this grandeur, nothing quite compares to what we have before us today. What we have before us is an interior design masterpiece, a masterpiece which transcends all boundaries. This is more than just a physical space. This is a manifestation of what is possible on this continent, Africa. 2 years ago, when Neo and myself started this channel, our mission was clear, our sole purpose resolute: to inspire, to ignite a flame in each and every one of you. I hope this episode really does inspire you guys as much as it did inspire us. Lastly, your dreams are valid. Aim for the moon. You have no boundaries. And let's prop in.
Mosadi wadi koti maraming ubuhali Kibatela wena fela wana warahade Akisa seba khore kwetsa kalang nabele My kutlo akaho wena wande subuhali
Designing this house for me was a way to break the boundaries. My client, who is also my husband, said to me, "You have an open budget." And my brain went wild. Any designer's dreams, thank you. So this was mine. And I brought in all the different styles that I have been wanting to do. When you do a project for a client, you're restricted by their budget, by their styles. Sometimes they are scared to take risks, and you've got to be very safe, which is most of us not the best, but you've got to do what the client wants you to do. In this case, I had an open budget and the client was, do whatever. You know, this is the dream. I mean, you've got to make the best out of it. And I think I did. I didn't want to do too conventional because I know what is conventional, mostly in the African market. It depends on countries. Some countries are very more into gold, some are very more into farm looks, you know, so it's boring, it's tiring. You can have an over-the-top house. You don't need to break the bank, but you can make it over the top. You don't need to fit into any box, and you don't need to be safe. So I didn't want to be safe. I didn't want to fit into any box, and I absolutely did not want to be anything that has to do with conventional.
As we begin our tour on the main floor of this home, this is a 4-leveled home, but we'll go through them very thoroughly. And in this tour, we're really gonna take our time because there's so many details and information that we're gonna show you guys. But just looking at this powder room, typically as a guest, the first sort of private space that you interact with is the powder room. So in knowing that, your powder room has to be exceptional, and this isn't anything short of that. In terms of first impressions, Leo, what do you think? Because
I was just completely blown away. The details, wow.
The details are so impressive. So just going into the details, firstly, I think the first thing you see is this ripple steel cladding towards the floating vanity. You even see it on the ceiling. The beautiful thing about this material is that it gives this water type of a feeling. It's a very dynamic material. As you walk, it changes. And that's one thing they wanted to integrate in all the spaces, is bringing all the elements into the spaces just to balance it out. And as you look here, very gorgeous light fixture suspended from the ceiling. Like the repost steel, all the light fixtures in this home were imported. It took a month just to pick out the lights for this home, which is crazy. We've never seen anything like that. And then here, very beautiful and elegant large mirror in front of us. You have this very interesting artwork here. All the artworks in this home were commissioned by one artist. You'll see throughout. Above us, you do have the bedrooms. Below us, the basement level and the top floor. That's where the roof or the rooftop is. But we'll see all these spaces. As we enter and move more towards the internal space of this room, you're greeted by this very elegant art glass installation. For some of you might notice it specifically because they were trying to mimic the art glass installation that they have at the Peninsula Hotel lobby. It's called the Dancing Leaves. As you can see, it's mimicking sort of leaves falling from the tree, floating in the air, being blown by the wind, and eventually falling in a pond. Very elegant. At the Peninsula Hotel, they do have rocks and large boulders at the bottom, so just to stop people from walking in between it. Here they have a similar type of setup here, just with these tinted mirror finished console. They do have kids here, so they were sort of wary about them walking in between here. But very stunning art installation, and as you enter, you're greeted by this. As a guest, you must get wowed, if you're not wowed already, by the powder room. And looking at here, as I've said, multi-leveled home, lift taking you from the basement to the rooftop, and then to my left, you have a special piece. Neo, do you wanna? Because I'm always lost for words in terms of details that you don't find often in homes.
Yeah, this is a course piece. It's like a Japanese-inspired piece of artwork. The artist does all sorts of installations and pieces like this. We'll see a lot of them around the house. And
this is not the first one.
It's not the first nor the last one.
You'll see plenty. Then approaching the sort of lounge and formal dining area, just focusing on this formal dining area for a second. Looking at the scale of this marble. This marble arrived in 2 pieces. As you can look at the size, the thickness, it needed 50 men just to carry it and place it and install it into this space. The top and the base, the legs rather, were designed and made and supplied by 2 different companies. So you can imagine the difficulties of getting it here. 10-seater, but this table looks heavy. As you see, it looks heavy. But in terms of the legs, right? Get this now, the legs were more expensive than the top.
The legs are made out of wood, right?
The legs are made out of wood, so you can understand how many pieces of wood. Firstly, in terms of the cost, right? You're thinking about how many pieces of wood you require to hold up these large pieces of marble, and then you need someone to sort of design these legs. It's incredible, really, what they have here. But as an overall piece, it's incredible. And then I love this large carpet that you have in between the formal dining area and hedging this entire lounge area. Almost creates a cohesive space. And talking about this entire space, all the pillars that are structural members of this floor are wrapped in this tinted mirror. One thing it does do is create this luxurious feel. No pillar was left exposed, just pointing out the attention to detail that the interior designer was so focused at. And a funny detail, or funny story rather, when they were bringing around the surround sound speakers, they all arrived in this white color. But looking at the floor, it's this dark charcoal color. Obviously, it wouldn't make sense to have white speakers above there. What the interior designer said is to take them back, spray paint them. Even the vents needed to get spray painted, which is crazy. But it's that attention to detail when you get to this level of property. Then looking at here, this magical space. Firstly, touching on this marble table. This piece was done by 2 different suppliers. You get this marble piece which arrived first. Essentially, it's there to stay. It's never moving ever again. Looking at how heavy it is. And then this bronze mirror-wrapped table complementing this side as well arrived second. And then looking at the couches here, obviously, you have this beautiful Roche Bobois couch here. They've actually specialized and found the perfect balance of having art and furniture. It's beautiful, and I think the color palette complements the space very well. In an otherwise very masculine, dark, earthy type of room, you do have these lighter turps and linen colors to complement the space very well. And speaking about sort of these tinted mirrors, as you look up, you do have an entire section of this mirror finish. One thing it does do is that the ceiling is this dark charcoal. So to break that up, they introduced this large mirror finish there to introduce a special moment. You can look up, enjoy what you're seeing, and then bounces all the lights on different surfaces. Bringing everyone to the bar section and looking at this entire console, you have this large, very beautiful marble slab piece here, and then it's wrapped around this golden finish. To it, it's a gorgeous bar area, open shelving, and then as I've said, these lights suspended from the ceiling, all of them were imported. And then this sink here is fabricated using the marble, so it's one solid piece. And then plenty of storage and cabinetry here. As you're serving drinks here, very elegant room, amount of natural lighting pouring into the space. You have this floor to ceiling windows, fenestration hedging this entire room. And then as you look at that side, you have this very cool artistic screen, which gives you a little bit of privacy, but aesthetically it's very pleasing. And then bringing you guys further this side, you do have your wine cooler here, and then taking you guys, everyone outside, but just looking all the furniture pieces, everything sort of complements each other very well, having these very artistic features around. The sliding doors can be opened up just to eliminate that barrier between the indoors and outdoors. And as we look here, you have this very large wooden table with this live edge. We've seen this before. We've seen a table similar, but not quite like this. This is a very beautiful one, complemented by these chairs surrounding, again with this linen color. As you look above us, one thing which was a sort of an interior design technique here, as you look up, you'll see a lot of exposed concrete in this home. When they did buy this home, this was a full concrete shell, and then what they did was just come in, dress it up, finish it up, and introduce all these finishes. But as you'll see a lot, there is a lot of exposed concrete. So what they did do here in this section was to introduce this linen wrapped light fixtures just to soften the concrete feeling that you have above us. Again, pointing towards what you're saying there in terms of the Japanese type of influence that the owner and interior designer does have throughout this whole home. In this home, you'll see a lot of different influences based on her travels throughout the world, herself and her husband's travel throughout the world. You get Japanese influence, Dubai, American influence, all in this entire home. So looking at this very cozy area, firstly, you'll see that your eyes immediately drawn by this large tree. This was the first item that arrived to this home. It does connect this floor to the above floor, but we'll speak more about this tree as we go to the above floor. But just looking at this very cozy space here, TV in front of us, but you can imagine a late summer's day, gathered with friends and family, looking at this entire space. This home, when they were designing it, they did consider the seasons of the year, sort of how you'd be living in this home in the summer, in the winter, and when it does come to summertime, these trees in front of us are fuller, providing you with that extra bit of privacy. These walls either side give you that oasis, solitude, your own sanctuary, and then obviously these trees give you that curtain type of feeling, adding that privacy. And then bringing everyone back to the internal space of this home, just sort of also illustrating how you can open up these floor to ceiling sliding doors and eliminating that barrier between the indoor and outdoor. And with the color palette of this entire internal space, you'll see it's very earthy, and they introduced a lot of different elements here: glass, marble, timber, wooden finishes, steel, just to create a more balanced floor. And then just looking at this beautiful art piece here as you're walking in, this is one of the first things that you see. It's incredible, the scale rather, it's very impressive. Leading you guys to the family room, this is probably one of my favorite spaces in this entire home, but I'm probably gonna say that more than once. But then focusing on this kitchen before we come to this lounge area, looking at this entire cabinetry space, you have a full Miele suite appliances. And one thing I love about this entire space is that the cabinetry work is the same color as the Miele appliances, which gives you that very seamless look. But also, if you speaking about a seamless look, you do have pocket doors here which close up this entire sort of area here. And just showing you guys how it works, you have these pockets that you can close or open up these doors rather, and just tuck them away, giving you more sort of countertop real estate. But then if you want that seamless finish, you can just open it up and close it off. Very functional and elegant. And I love this LED lighting strip, which emphasizes this marble backsplash. And then in front of us, you have this very large island. And I love this suspended light chandelier, very industrial, but as well very opulent in this entire space. Throughout here, you have this beautiful marble finish. And then now, if you may bring everyone this side, of course, you have soft close finish to this cabinetry. To my left, you have this large cabinetry space with this open glass panels. One thing that you'll see throughout this home is that the use of different materials and different phases were used for different reasons. And that will make sense in a bit. I'll show you guys behind it. But as you can see, in terms of the crockery that was used inside here, this is your monochromatic tone crockery, and it will make sense in a bit. I'll show you guys. And then bringing everyone here, you have this very beautiful brushed chrome tap fixture here, as well as this integrated marble sink. I love when you have a sink that's the same material as you have with the countertop. It creates that seamless flow to this entire piece here. And then coming towards you guys here, and just showing you guys this beautiful cladding that you have here, complementing the tap fixture, but as well as the suspended light fixture there. And then you have your bar, breakfast bar set up here, 3-seater, and these chairs, they feel right at home. Bringing you guys to the second kitchen here. This is, as you'll see here, this is very, very neat. I dare not to cook here. This is probably just to showcase what this kitchen's about. This is probably where most of the cooking gets done, if I'm being honest. Arriving at this entire space here, as you can see, very refreshing. This is a different type of style. Behind it is more of that contemporary modern look, whereas here's that farm style type of interior design. Two sort of identifiers you'll see is these sinks, these farm style type of sinks, really beautiful. And then you'll have these moldings around this cabinetry space. Here you have this hidden paneled in dishwasher. Did not show you guys that side, but you do have a paneled in fridge. You have very seamless countertop real estate here and plenty of cabinetry space here. Bringing us to my left, you have this 110 centimeter Smeg stove, and above it, you have this vent and extractor bar. I really love this patina finish to this vent here. Basically this brownish film, which is prevalent in your bronze type of finishes over time, just due to that oxidation. But then when I was speaking about different types of finishes or different types of uses for the same type of material, this is what I was alluding to. Here you have reeded glass here as opposed to that clear glass. And you want reeded glass here because behind here you have more of that colorful type of crockery. And you really don't want that type of crockery in the main section where it's beautiful, elegant. That's why you have your reeded glass here. Direct access to the 2-car garage, and then behind you just going to the pantry area. On my left, you have additional space here. What they're using this as is an additional fridge, but here you have this entire pantry area storing your food, non-perishables, all that stuff. And you do have this barn door, which is finished with this reeded glass. And as I've said, the use of reeded glass just to give you that hidden look to what's inside, but still maintaining that elegant look that you'd have with glass. Then coming back towards you guys and going to the family room. As I've said, this is one of my favorite spots of this home, as the furniture pieces, the light fixtures, the material used for this entire space is incredible. But just sort of taking our time just to go through the materials. As you can look here, the wall cladding firstly, you might notice that these panels, these wooden panels, are the wooden panels that you'd see mostly in luxurious boats, private jets, and also the Baccarat Hotel in New York. Those rooms have this finish to it, very elegant and very high end. It gives you that feeling. And then to my left, as you can see here, again, a stunning piece by Roche-Beaubois. This is your cactus light fixture. But this isn't just a light fixture. This is essentially art. I think when we were arriving here, we weren't sure what it was, but looking at it, it's very stunning. As I've said, they've figured out and perfected the balance between furniture pieces and art pieces. It's beautiful, and in this space, very appropriate. Around the space, you do have beautiful wall sconces, and then leading you guys this side again with this wooden paneling. With this wooden paneling, they needed to bring it to site or into this home in smaller pieces, but you do have the connection pieces and the seams in between. One way which they are hiding discreetly the seams is by having this golden accent pieces, which I think blends in so well and complements this entire space, as it is also similar to the ones above there. Very good use of these accents. And then, as I've said, the art pieces in this home, incredible. Leading you guys to this main space here, large TV. Is this the largest one we've seen?
This is definitely the largest one we've seen, without a doubt.
I think this is the largest one we've seen. Incredible. But in this space, very much appropriate. I've said this is my favorite spot, and just looking at it here, this gorgeous coffee table, this beautiful piece of marble with this more rustic veins in between, black veins, and then a sort of a linen light color underneath. And then surrounding this entire space, you have this beautiful couches wrapping around this entire space with this very cozy and linen colored look to it. You'd forget that this home is actually concrete in terms of the interior design. Looking below us, you have this very high volume plush rug underneath, just wrapping and containing the space so well. Complementing this entire space, you do have another marble piece that side. It's incredible, the furnishing here. Above us, you have this elegant circular light fixtures. I'm sure throughout this tour, you guys have seen a lot of circular elements throughout all the spaces. We'll show you guys exactly what was the inspiration for all of this upstairs. This light fixture, very elegant, similar to the one that we saw once in Cape Town, but it elevates the space so well. Coming towards you guys and flowing outside to the outdoor area as well. You have this floor to ceiling sliding doors just to eliminate that barrier between indoor and outdoor, but the amount of natural lighting that pours into the space is phenomenal. Looking at this entire space, in front of us you have these sun lounges as you seated here, sun setting. You're seated here having a drink. In front of you is the pool. This it's probably one of the best places to have your sundowners. And then hedging this entire space, you do have the see-through frameless glass balustrade, providing you that endless field of view. And then in front of us, you have this pool, large pool with the infinity edge. It actually has two sections of water. It has an infinity edge which pours into the secondary pool space. And then as we look at this entire structure, you can see the original sort of concrete structure from here perfectly. As you can see, exposed concrete at the soffit, even the walls were left exposed. But in terms of the internal or interior design rather, it allowed that internal space to be softened up very much. So just finishing off this space here, I'm lost for words in terms of the details, the interior designing. Everything was intentional, every single detail was looked at, and they brought all the elements, bringing in stone, bringing in marble, timber, steel, and having water type of features. It was a phenomenal space. Now we're going to be looking at the basement, and if you are a car enthusiast, wait until you see the basement. Joining me in the basement level, this is the landing to the basement. Above us, you have this very cool finish to the ceiling, this industrial steel plate suspended from the ceiling, introducing a very interesting point of view from this entire space here. As I've said, the lift does take you from the basement level all the way to your rooftop. But just starting this entire floor with the powder room, as this is the first place you'll probably interact with privately as a guest. Looking at the details here above, a continuation of this ripple steel finish on the entire ceiling, complementing this gold leaf finish throughout this entire wall, wrapping around this entire wall. And I really love the golden brass nickel type of accents that they have throughout this entire bathroom, complementing the gold leaf. And then in front of us, you have this large semicircled mirror with this backlit LED lighting. You have a lot of ambient lighting throughout this whole home. And again, with this stunning floating vanity, full marble with this integrated sink. It's incredible the levels of finishes that you have in this home. Coming back towards you guys to the landing, to my left, this home does have its own full beauty salon. There's open shelving, finished with marble. I mean, having this entire space and amenity in your home is incredible and very impressive. Coming towards you guys, to my left, you also have an entire home cinema. So just looking at the home cinema, in terms of the sound installation in here, it is perfect. You have a large screen here, timber paneling throughout, and then you have this material here just for that sound installation. And then above us, surround sounds, aircon, and then you have this cool detail of this star lighting above there. Very cool. You can darken out the space and watch your favorite movies on the screen, and you can feel as though you are at the cinemas. Coming towards you guys, and then behind you guys, you do have this very cool, more masculine space here. Very good use of space, as this is underneath the spiraling stairwell. You have these more masculine colors here, contrasting the ones that we saw out there. This is more of your masculine, darker, earthy tones. As you can see, if you're a long subscriber of this channel, if you know, you know. If you know, do let us know in the comments. To my right, you have this console area, very elegant with this dual semicircle mirror here, giving you that illusion of space in here. And then, as you'll see, floor finish, a continuation of this marble. If I didn't mention before, this is known as the marble mansion, and you guys will see exactly why when we get to the bathroom of the main bedroom. But sticking here, just looking at this entire bar area, you do have onyx marble here. It lights up so well, giving you that elegant and opulent look to this entire space. The seating complements the light, the golden light that this onyx does have. And as I've said, these light pendants, gorgeous. It almost looks as though it's a marble piece which is hedged around with this lighting. We've said it before, and I'll say it again, all the light fixtures in this home was imported. This side, you do have a continuation of the marble finish to the cabinetry space, dark finish to the paneling here, which complements and is continuous this side. You do have this dark finish to the paneling, marble finish throughout here, and then open shelving. And again, tying in with the bar that you have up there, you have these beautiful accent pieces, marble finish to the backsplash. I mean, having the space here, and this is your views, a very inspiring spot. To my left, you have a full home gym. Floor finish changes to this wooden laminate, but as you can see, full gym, aircon, surround sounds. You can probably never leave this home if you wanted to.
You literally have everything here. I think downstairs is obviously my favorite place, and I think it's pretty obvious why when we go to the place just behind me.
You'll see in the moment, but as you can see, very full gym, mirrors giving you that illusion of space, and you can control all the lights. This is an automated home, so you can control all the lights and aircon from a tablet, which is very much convenient. And as Neo has sort of alluded to, from this space here and from the gym, I think while you're working out, you have this entire view, very inspiring. We've seen upstairs with the smoke mirror, it's a continuation of that, having these smoke mirrors elevating the space, giving you that luxurious feel. But as we can see in front of us, I mean, this is insane, you know. But looking at the floor finish, it's a change from marble to more of your porcelain tile finish, because you do have very powerful and heavy vehicles that are going to be parking in this 4-car garage. They went with porcelain tile instead of the marble just because of that weight. But looking at this entire space, this is the second entry that you get from this home. The first entry was the one on the main floor. This is the second entry for the 4-car garage. This is a popular street, very secure. It is boomed off, but then the owners arrived through this one, whereas the one upstairs is the one where your daily cars come in and out. But as you can see, very large space. Hedging this entire garage here, you do have these commissioned artworks. So the owner of this home is a cryptocurrency and NFT enthusiast. So they got an artist just to paint some of his favorite pieces, which I think is absolutely beautiful and cool. Some of these pieces here are phenomenal, great use of space here. and then bring you guys back to the interior here. To my left, you have this gorgeous marble table at this reception area, suspended light fixtures, and then just taking you guys outside so you can see exactly the outside of this car garage. Looking at the floor, you have this very natural concrete finish to this flooring. In between it, you do have these rock aggregates, and then in front of us, when they did come here and sort of start dressing up and fitting out this entire home with the finishes, they also did the entire landscaping of this home. As we move more this side, you can see the external facade of this home very well. This is a very modern and contemporary type of architecture with these very strong lines, but that's why the need of an interior design just to soften up and make it seem a bit more homely, which is something that they achieved. So just finishing off this floor, but before we go to the main bedrooms, it's 4 bedrooms on the main floor. But before we go there, let's take a look at the amazing sort of holiday guest bedroom.
The guest bedroom downstairs was inspired by Santorini, the beach, very zen, very Japandi kind of style. And you know, you want to wow your guests. You want them to come to your home and feel like, I had the best time ever. But also, I kept all these beautiful aesthetics of white and wood to bring in a zen, yes, but also to remind them to go because you have too much white in the house. Just to remind them you can't dirty it. It's not for long stay. And yeah, it was to mix a lot of design styles in my house. You just don't want to have luxury, art deco, contemporary. You also want to mix in with Japandi, moody, you know, all these zen new styles that are coming up that are very rampant, and I didn't want to be last.
Joining me on the bedroom floor, this is the first floor of this home. To my right, these are the staircases that lead you to the rooftop. But to my left, as you can see, this very large artwork, an abstract piece of artwork with some pinks, some blues. It almost creates a mystery in your mind of what you can find on this floor. Above it, you have these wall sconces lighting up this entire piece. But speaking about this entire staircase, this is a beautiful concrete spiraling staircase that take you from each of these floors. But I love the spiraling effect that it has. I mean, to achieve this is it's very difficult, but in terms of looking at it now, the execution, 10 out of 10. But adjacent to this spiraling staircase, you do have this large, genuine leather wrapped panels. It goes from the ground floor all the way to the rooftop floor. And in terms of creating this entire piece here, it took about 3 weeks just to create this entire structure here, or this entire panel, as the guy did have to come on site, wrap them, hand wrap them. Leather is a very thick material, so he had to wrap them, and even a scaffolding had to be erected on this entire space here. It took 3 weeks to do this entire thing, and you can even see the sort of industrial burnt marks that they left on this panels just to give you that texture to this very elegant look. It's stunning, but the level and the intricacies of the details around this home is phenomenal. In front of us, you get this similar glass art installation, and at night, this is very beautiful as you're walking into the home, complemented by these recessed lightings. You see this beautiful space well lit up, see-through balustrade just to give you that endless seam or feel of view. And as you can see, in terms of the neighboring home, when they took this home, it was similar in terms of the structure and the skeleton of the home. So gives you an idea, turning something like that into this is impressive. Looking at the floor finish, a continuation of this marble, but here you have a lighter marble, and I love the lighter tones that they have throughout this bedroom floor. It does promote that relaxation type of feeling. To my left, you have another artwork, same artist. I think this one is my favorite one out of all the artworks. Entering the main bedroom, greeted by this very large pivot door. And as far as first impressions go, this is phenomenal. Having this entire onyx marble piece slab greeting you as soon as you enter this main bedroom, it's incredible. Now, I'm lost for words. Look at the scale of it.
I mean, there's a certain point where you just stop speaking and you just start admiring. And I think there's a reason why this place is called the Marble House. And this is one of those statements.
Correct. This is where that term, the marble house, comes from. If you haven't yet seen marble throughout the home, you're about to see plenty. Looking at this entire onyx marble, this is slightly different to the one that we do have at the bar area. This one here, the bar area one, lights up completely, whereas this one lights up in pieces. It's very beautiful. It's an art piece on itself. And the owner and the interior designer, when we were speaking to her, she did contemplate maybe putting a mirror here, putting something, but then I think she ended up just going with the plain look, which I think looks phenomenal. And as we come to this bathroom, guys, we've never seen anything quite like this. I think the closest thing was when we went to the Orem, when there was a lot of marble, but this takes things to a different type of level. So just taking our time and going through each detail here. Firstly, you're greeted by this floating vanity with this marble topping. Very beautiful material marble is. But as you look here, beautiful suspended light fixtures complementing this entire space. And you have LED backlit mirrors. And I love these Hansgrohe tap mixtures, wall mounted, complemented by this black Livingstone basin. It's a showcase of the perfect materials and the perfect color scheme. And as we come here, very large shower. You can fit the entire family in the shower, wrapped in this marble. So entering this bathroom, when we initially toured this place, automatically my thinking was how difficult it must have been getting this entire marble piece into this bathroom. But yeah, it did take a lot of manpower. Leading you guys here as we come up this elevated platform, windows here, floor to ceiling, just to give you that natural lighting into this space. And it's also obscure just to give you a little bit of privacy when you are here. I love these gold accents throughout, these gold trimmings, from the toilet roll holder to these circular members, and as well as the tap fixtures and accessories. Even this rainwater shower head has this golden wrapping around it. Very neat outlet that you have at the bottom there. And in terms of the natural lighting entering into this bathroom, it's incredible. And in terms of the golden finishes throughout this home, or this bathroom rather, it's very easy for you to overdo the golden finishes. So to break up the golden feel of this bathroom, they did introduce a lot of black colors, like the bath, like the framing, just to break up that gold, because if there's too much golden accents and fixtures, it actually starts to destroy the gold and it's over opulent. So love this bathtub that you have here, complemented by the standalone golden Hansgrohe tap fixture here. And then just one special detail here, the owner and interior designer wanted to create her own Santorini grease. And I think if this was an assignment, this would be full marks in terms of execution. It feels as though you are somewhere else. It's incredible because above us, you do have this sort of glass paneling with this frosted look. So when it is raining, you're also able to enjoy this entire space here with this ambient sound of the rain. It's an incredible space in terms of execution and the color palette. It ties in well with the guest bedroom, which we saw downstairs, and the use of light throughout this whole home. There's no direct or harsh directional lighting. It's all ambient and very soft, which is something which I've learned to appreciate from this home. And then we've gone through a lot and we haven't even touched half of the space, but just bringing everyone to this walk-in closet. This walk-in closet is an assimilation of your boutique store. Looking at it, very large and very glamorous. Just touching on a few details, you'll see immediately your eye is drawn to that onyx marble. So you'll see that this onyx marble almost mirrors the one that we saw in the beginning. They're almost twinning each other, which is very beautiful. But now check this out. This detail is absolutely insane. You see the shelves here?
Yeah.
Basically, they are floating open shelves. The only thing holding them up is this marble piece. It's it's insane. I think in terms of taking things to the next level, in terms of architecture, interior design, these are the types of details that they speak about.
Yeah.
It's on another level, but then you have this beautiful circular framing, this space. So while you'll see throughout the home, there's a lot of circles and oval types of shapes, introducing a lot of harmony into this entire space. Centerpiece here is this console with this beautiful velvet suede finish. Introduces a lot more glamorous feel into this otherwise already glamorous walk-in closet. Again, with the lighting, I know I've been talking about the lighting, but the use of lighting is incredible. And then going back into this passage here, you'll see the subtle use of color in terms of dividing these cabinetry space. So from a his to a hers or a hers to a his, you have a black type of framing, whereas here you have this golden light finish here. So, sort of a subtle way of saying it. Now, going back and bringing everyone back to the landing of this bedroom and actually touching on the actual bedroom, just looking at it, and as it reveals here, the color palette, it's a color palette in terms of the terps and linens that promote that relaxation type of feeling. So after a long day at work, you're working hard and you come back and you enter this bedroom, there's nothing that you want to do other than just relax, kick back, and just enjoy this entire room. So looking at a couple of the details, firstly, this light pendant. We've never seen anything like this. This complements the space so well. The choice of light pendants throughout this home has been something that has been so impressive. I'm lost for words, and I'm afraid to keep on repeating it, but it's incredible, really. So then to my left, console space complemented by this greenery frame here. One thing the interior designer and owner did not want to do is have another linen wallpaper in the main bedroom. So what they did do is have this 3-dimensional art installation here, which was handmade. It's so subtle, so soft, not aggressive. It again emphasizing that relaxation type of feeling, and then touching it off or finishing off with this LED mood lighting here. It's a phenomenal space. And obviously you have this large bed here, generous in size, as you do have your own lounge space here. Very cool detail here is this couch. This couch, you can either be seated this side of the couch and watch TV, or you can be seated here and have these phenomenal views. It's a sort of a multi-purpose couch. 2 side tables there with these beautiful pendants either side, and then these curtains are automated. And similar to the family room, this is a very large TV, but it is sort of seamless and appropriate in this space. So going out into the balcony for a second. Firstly, you're greeted by the see-through balustrades, which gives you the view of the downstairs area. And then you have these beautiful views of the entire Bryanston area. Sun is setting now. You have the phenomenal views, but as you can see here, this exposed raw concrete finish. And then to my right, you have this tree which we spoke about in the beginning, almost connecting the ground floor or the main floor to this floor here. This was one of the first pieces that they had installed in this home. The architect left this entire opening, circular opening on the slab specifically for something like this. So what they did do was install this cherry blossom tree, which is absolutely beautiful and elegant, softening up the harsh textures of the concrete. And you can see in terms of this cherry blossom tree, in terms of the influence of Japandi style design, it's perfect. And then looking at one of the details here, you have this curved glass sort of surrounding and hedging this entire opening. Firstly, I think it's from a safety perspective, but just to give you that ease of view in terms of your eye, you can have seamless views to the bottom space. It's just a phenomenal moment that you have here. And just going back to the interior and meeting me by the landing. And back to the landing, coming towards you guys. To my left, you have this elevator, which I've said takes you from all the floors. But one thing I didn't speak about is this finish to this entire walling of the lift. It's that boat-like timber finish that we spoke about in the family room. To my left, you get the first bedroom on this side of this home. Beautiful floor finish. You have this vinyl wood flooring, and then just opening up these bathrooms Absolutely gorgeous. Marble floor finish wraps around this entire walling, again with the continuation of this marble. Standalone bathtubs with black tap mixture and fixture. And I love this chrome design here that I have to the backsplash of this bath. Very elegant and unique light fixture suspended from the ceiling. Some greenery just to add a little pop of color to the space and just to get that timeless feel into this bathroom. And then, as I've said, you have black fixtures throughout, neat outlet, and very beautiful marble finish to this cabinetry and floating vanity, as well as this Livingstone sink. Everything here in terms of it ties in with that high quality finish that you've come to expect from this home. Backlit mirror, again with this curved harmonious framing that you have to this mirror. Everything here is so beautiful. I get lost for words because the amount of detail and the intricacies of the attention to detail, I don't want to forget anything. So then going back into the main bedroom area, it's hedged by this beautiful linen wallpaper. And as you can see, color pads, very mature. You get this brown, golden, almost caramel-like tones that they use here. Backsplash there, or the backdrop, it's a continuation of that artwork that we saw in the previous room, sort of just tying them together. And then again, this magnificent suspended light fixture, just elevating this entire space. You have direct access to the balcony, and then as you can see behind us, you have wall sconces on the wall, and you have these very cool side lamps here. Never seen anything like it, but it's very cool and very artistic. These are sort of snail shells cladded around the bottom of this light fixture. Very cool and artistic. And then to my left, you have cabinetry space, which again is closed off by this reeded glass. Phenomenal room, but this is the first room. The next two rooms are the kids' rooms, but before we check that out, I think this is my favorite spot, because in terms of all the pieces that tie in the space. So just looking at it, to my right, you have this installation which can be used as a seating spot. So in terms of the seating right here, they wanted it, because this is predominantly the kids' play area, watching TV and just enjoying the space. They wanted the seating to be more artistic than juvenile. And as you look at the seating, I think they achieved that very well. In front of us, you have this Roche Bobois, beautiful couch. This couch is called the Bubble. And as I've been speaking about and I've been alluding to it, this couch was the inspiration of this entire home, sort of using this bubble-like patterns. So after they found this couch, they did so find different pieces which have the circular and oval types of shape. As you can look above us, you have these suspended light fixtures that look like clouds, sort of tying in again with these circular. Even in front of us, you have this tinted mirror, the semi-circle finish to it. And there's a lot of, you'll see now that there's a lot of pieces which have that circular look to it, which I think is very appropriate, because in modern architecture, you have a lot of lines and a lot of dynamic horizontals and verticals and diagonals that you need a little bit of harmony. And then this side, we've spoken about downstairs. This is another one, cause two of them here. I think this is the perfect space to have them for the kids.
Definitely. I think they're also quite playful. They look like toys, but for people who know, they'll know.
They'll know. In front of us, you do have two of the rooms. We'll start with this one. Floor finish changes from this marble finish to this wooden vinyl flooring. And you'll see here something I really love about this room is this royal oak blue, this dark blue, very beautiful. This is the older son, so very much appropriate. So maybe going to the room, then finishing off with the bathroom. Beautiful light fixture suspended over this entire space here. Tinted glass for the cabinetry. Beautiful sort of juvenile-like wallpaper hedging this entire backdrop. And you have this large bed here. In front of us, again, cause piece, artwork, and then you have this little bit of a working station here. And then this room does have direct access to the balcony. This floor-to-ceiling glass does lead in a lot of natural lighting to the space. And then as you'll look behind there's that beautiful neon lighting. Because this is a concrete home and the interior designing was after the concrete had set, they needed to find sort of creative ways to install some of the light fixtures, which you'll see throughout the home. Going back to the landing here and into the bathroom, again, with the finishes of these bathrooms are phenomenal. Very light and minimalist approach to this entire bathroom. You have this beautiful marble topping there, timber cladding to this cabinetry space, and of course it is soft close Livingstone basin there, complemented by this dark black tap fixture, backlit mirror there, introducing that ambient lighting. And if you look above, the lights, the recessed lighting fixtures were pushed away slightly from being centered, just to give you that ambient lighting, that moody, that calm mood to the space. Standalone bath here, and then wall-mounted tap fixture, and a continuation of this beautiful light fixture here. One thing that I've learned throughout this tour, I think that's one thing that we'll be remiss not to speak about in terms of the types of things that we learn. Myself and Neo aren't experts at interior design or architect or real estate. We are enthusiasts, so all the things that we do learn, we'd like to share with you guys. I think that's how we bring the most value, because we stay learning new things and other things that we didn't know about. And this was a huge learning curve in terms of the interior design type of stuff. Learning that the canvas to an artist is similar to how the walls are to interior design, where they can use the walls to just express their artistic expression. And as well, in terms of interior designers, their main focus is to think about how will you feel when you enter that space, which is a very important concept. So entering this final bedroom on this floor, as you can see, cabinetry space lit up. We have this dark black trimming to this frame and plenty of cabinetry space. Leading you guys here, you have 2 double beds here. The theme of this room is about becoming an astronaut. As you can see, different figures around the room behind there had that to the moon sign, which was about sort of reinforcing that idea of thinking bigger, thinking higher. The sky is the limit. And then here it's about being an astronaut. As you can see, these different figures. But one question I did have for the owner interior designer in terms of the interior designing for the kids, because I was thinking that if you are specifically designing this room around the kids, what happens when they start growing up? And for her, that idea was such a delightful idea, because she'd planned this room around the 4-year period. So when they do start growing up, she'll sort of sit down with them, speak to them, what would they like, and sort of change this room around. And entering this final bedroom, standalone bath, different fixtures that you have here. This is more of a chrome finish, and then you have an opening there, bringing you that natural lighting into the space. In front of us, floating vanity, Livingstone again with this chrome finish to this tap mixture. To my left, shower, very neat outlet, and then backlit mirror for that ambient lighting. As you'll see with these rooms, they're not very bright. They have more of that mood type of lighting. So just taking you guys out into the balcony just to see the views. So just showing you guys the balcony, hedging this entire balcony. You have the see-through frameless glass balustrades, allowing you to have these endless views of the downstairs space in this entire Bryanston area. It's late autumn now, going into winter. This beautiful late afternoon, very tranquil space that you have here. But to finish off the tour, this wasn't the last floor. The last floor is above, where we will see the rooftop space.
Girl, I know you. Girl, I know you. And it's okay if you.
Arriving at the landing of the rooftop, firstly, you're greeted by this home study. In terms of the placement of the study, this is incredible when you are sort of crunching down numbers, working. You have these dual monitors here, and the view that you have from the seat here is phenomenal. To my left, you have this beautiful cladding throughout this entire space here. Window opening just to bring in tons of natural lighting into this landing of the staircase. This spiraling staircase does go from the bedroom landing to this landing here. Above us, you have an exposed concrete soffit, but complementing that, you have this beautiful circular suspended light pendant here. Very gorgeous and opulent, sort of tying in with that circular theme which we've seen throughout. You have this circular frame here with open shelving, and then just coming towards you guys here, you do have pocket doors which do open up this entire space and leads you out into this balcony space. Just starting with the right side of this rooftop, the floor finish here, you do have composite decking, which is an amazing alternative which you can use instead of timber. And this is a much more durable option without any drawbacks. Looking at this entire space here, you can be entertaining guests. This is ideal for that. You have sun lounges here, cozy space here, you have soft furniture, and I love the fact that throughout this entire space it is hedged off by this glass balustrade. They even have sort of this greenery throughout this entire space just to give you a little bit more liveliness on this rooftop. Again, with this artistic screen that you have covering this entire glass moment, but then bringing everyone this side of the rooftop. This is incredible spot here. You have this beanbag to my left, and then to my right you do have this outdoor formal area, dining area, seated here, maybe after serving some meals, having your meal here and just having this entire landscape to look at. It's a very tranquil space, very serene. The sun just set now. The sunset is looking incredible at the moment, but this gives you picturesque vistas throughout. You can see as far as Pretoria, bringing you guys this side. This is a very artistic, chic like section of this rooftop. You do have this very cool refabricated or repurposed stone sink here, which it's so refreshing having natural elements amongst contemporary and man-made items. You have another beanbag here, and above us you have this very cool straw suspended light pendants here. And then just bringing you guys this side. So in terms of the concrete, to the soffit, there's plenty of concrete in and around this space, but one thing they wanted to do was break up that harshness and the hardness of concrete, so they did introduce a little bit of grass here. So just bringing everyone this side, just to give you some context in terms of the structure. The shell was completed in 2018. In terms of the dressing up and the furnishing and the finishing of this entire skeleton, they started it in February of last year and finished last year in November. So it took them 9 months. This gives you a rough idea of what it used to look like and what it is now. It's a testament and a tribute to what is really possible on this continent, Africa. We've gotten so much inspiration from the interior designer and owner in terms of going out and pushing yourself to the limit, not being constrained by boundaries, going after your dreams, going after your goals.
I would definitely do this again, because when you put yourself out there, is to show what you can do. And there are clients like you. There are clients that don't even know that they are like you. And you are opening their minds into being, oh, this is me, and when they come to my house, they see a bit of them everywhere. And it also allows me to know, okay, this is what I should do for this client and definitely not for this client. But it opens the mind of everyone. And remember, 9 months to do this project for some people is madness, because they will go 2 years, 3 years. But when the client has the finances, it's easy for you to go. Because manpower we have, but it's the resources, the capital that is not always there. So really, sky is the limit in terms of design. You can do whatever you want to do if you have manpower and you have the capital. Stay tuned for the next project. It's crazy.
And just sort of bring this episode to a close, we'd like to thank you all for joining us for this episode. We really do hope that this episode and this home was as inspiring to you guys as it is or was to us. Myself and Noah are very grateful for the opportunity. We'd like to thank the owner so much for opening up their home to us to share with you guys. We're very grateful for this opportunity. And as always, if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing, press that like button. And from us at Let's Pop In, to you guys, see you next week.